To call to order today's Thursday, December 6th meeting of the Missoula Board of County Commissioners. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, are there any public announcements anyone would like to make today? Commissioner Curtis.
I don't know if there's still spots open, but they have that great lantern tour at the Historical Museum at Fort Missoula, which is kind of fun. They reenact some things that have happened in our valley, and I think Frenchtown is one of the focuses this year.
Yeah,
So you can go online and see if they got spots.
it's a great tour. I took it last year. I talked to Matt this morning. I think there might still be a few spots available. Well worth the time if folks have the availability. All right, is there any public comment on items not on today's agenda? And we just have one action item on the agenda today. Anything else anyone wants to bring up? Snow depth where you live? What? Okay. Seeing none, our current claims list, this is claims received by the Commissioner's Office between November 23rd and November 28th of this year, total $948,597.06. We have one public hearing. This is on the proposed Alexander family transfer. I'll go ahead and open the public hearing and begin with a staff report by Lauren Miller.
Thank you, Commissioners. Lauren Miller, Planner with Community and Planning Services. This is a request from Tammy Alexander to utilize the family transfer exemption to create and transfer one parcel to her daughter. The parcel is located in the Frenchtown community just north of Interstate 90. The current lot is approximately 101 acres in size and is currently vacant. The tract is unzoned and is located within the area covered by the 2002 Regional Land Use Guide. The plan designates this area as one dwelling unit per 40 acres. The proposal today does not exceed that density that's recommended. The proposed parcel configuration will result in two total tracts. Tract 1 to be transferred to the applicant's daughter will be a total of 8 acres, and Tract 2 to remain in ownership by Tammy Alexander herself, approximately 101 acres in size. The applicant has indicated that the transferred tract is to be used for residential purposes by the recipient. The proposal was sent to county agencies for comment. Most agencies provided a standard response of no comments of concern for the proposed transfer. The rebuttable presumptions and general evasion criteria were reviewed in the staff analysis, and those that were triggered were noted in bold in the report. None of the rebuttable presumptions were triggered with the proposal, and two of the general evasion criteria were triggered. The general evasion criteria triggered with the proposal was if the original tract was transferred to the claimant within the past 2 years. The tract was transferred to Tammy Alexander in September of 2018. The second and final general evasion criteria triggered with the proposal was if the new tract has similar shape or size to adjacent or nearby platted lots. The new tract, which is 8 acres in size, does have a similar acreage to the nearby tract 5A-2A of COS 2582. Staff is recommending that the request by Tammy Alexander to utilize the family transfer exemption to create and transfer one parcel to her daughter, as presented in the exemption affidavit, be approved. And I have a few questions for the applicant, if she would like to come forward, please. Yep.
Yeah, and Ms. Alexander, if you want to hit the button on the base of the microphone to turn the light green. Perfect, you're on.
Yep, and if you just want to state your name for the record, please.
I'm Tammy Alexander.
Did you buy the property with the intent of dividing it?
No.
Do you or the transferees intend to transfer the property within the next year?
No,
Have you talked to anyone at the county about going through subdivision review?
no,
Will the property be developed?
no, just for her house. I don't,
Okay. And will the recipient of the property be residing on the property?
yes.
All right, that concludes my questions and staff report.
Thank you. And Ms. Alexander, would you like to say anything else at this time?
I guess I just need questions if you have questions for me. It's kind of basic, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And there's no public, so we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. Questions from the commission?
Just a couple. So we were briefed on this, and I know the answers to these, but I think it's good to put it on the record. So the reason that it was transferred to your name is because this is your daughter, not your husband's daughter,
Right.
right? So it has to be to meet the criteria by law. And then you may, I'm guessing, however, add your husband's name back to the portion that you keep within the next 2 years.
Yeah, well, we're all together, so it,
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't,
I just didn't want
Yes.
somebody to say, well, she said she wasn't going to transfer it. Well, you aren't really transferring, but you could add to it. So,
Right.
okay. Just wanted to put that on the record.
Any other questions or motion?
I was just, and maybe I wasn't listening and she said it, but is your daughter's name Rachel or Rochelle?
it's Rochelle.
Rochelle, okay, thanks. In that case, I would move that the request by Tammy Alexander to utilize the family transfer exemption to create and transfer one parcel to her daughter, Rochelle Weisenberger, as presented in the exemption application affidavit, be approved.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Okay.
Thanks a
Was that
lot.
painless enough?
That was pretty.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We're done then?
You are done. We have just one other thing to note. This is Commissioner Curtis's last public meeting, last public hearing. I think I was in diapers when you started on the commission. No, maybe not quite. Jean's been on the commission for 18 years. I know I've certainly learned an awful lot in my short tenure on the commission from Eugene. And I think you've been a model of commitment when I think many folks, as they're getting ready to leave one job and move on to something else, start to check out months in advance. And Jean has remarkably stayed going full bore and full throttle. And I think that's truly a sign of your public service, a model of commitment for all of us to stay the course and fulfill the job that we've been entrusted with. So thanks, Jean, for everything.
I can't look at you while I talk because I'll cry. But I want to iterate my thanks to Jean for her incredible public service. You've become a friend and a mentor. Oh, see, I didn't even look. Someone that I can trust and respect immensely. And it's a great loss to the county. So.
And you'll always be reserved 3 minutes at that microphone right there. Okay, we'll give you 4 as an alumni. Mr. Hart.
I want to say something too, Gene. This has been a week that's on a national level with the passing of George H.W. Bush as our 41st president, that we have heard a lot about the value of public service, the value of working with each other to get things done. And I've only been here for 3.5 years of your 18 years, but I'm very grateful, and all the citizens of Missoula County ought to be really grateful that we have an example on our local level of a outstanding public servant, somebody who has spent 18 years trying to get things done for Missoula County. And I join the other commissioners in telling you how much we're going to miss your talents and your commitment to us, and we're glad you're not going anywhere. Thank you.
And I'm just sorry we could not deliver a more contentious meeting for you to go out with here. But
Yeah, if I would have known, I would have made it a little bit more dramatic.
all right.
Well, they seem small, but these are important. It's in law that we can let families give their family members a piece of their property to share without going through a whole big thing. So I'm excited, actually. This is one of the last things.
Yeah, and I would second that. So much of the work that we do are things like this that make a big difference to individual people in our community, and it might not hit the headlines and be flashy. So other things hit the headlines, but it's the sort of thing that public servants like Gene slog through day after day, year after year, and have committed a good chunk of their lives to. So thanks, Gene. So unless there's any other business coming before the commission, and this will also be my last time chairing this committee for a while as we rotate the chair of the county commission, and most likely, I think there's a pretty darn good chance that Commissioner Rowley will be the chair of the commission next year. So without any other business coming before us, we will be adjourned for 2018.